Materials, any kind of materials, the flyers that we have today, I think they're on the tables and there might be some out front. Those were made and designed by members and staff working together. Every single photo was taken by a member or staff. We do our own photos, we design everything, and
We've had a busy week this last week. I just want to talk about a few things. Boys and Girls Clubs had their Caribbean nights. And that went well, was well attended here on Saturday night. There was the Florida conference, basically a sectional conference of the Order of the Arrow, which is part of the Boy Scouts. And that was attended by Jim, Seth, and myself this weekend down at Camp Miles. And we had about 600, almost I think 600 different scouts from around the state, which was really great to see. There was also the 5K, the Manatee 5K run this weekend, where we helped man the beer tent over there, and we raised $1,259.50 for that event. There's also, we have some, we're constantly involved, and I think it's important for the membership to know some of the things the board sometimes gets. We talk about different things, but for the membership as a whole, there's things that go on behind the scenes that, really make me proud to be a Kiwanian, especially a Bradenton Kiwanian. I know someone had reached out from the organization Wheelchairs for Kids, and there's a young 12-year-old girl named Bailey that has some disabilities, and she was in need of a wheelchair. And through this organization, I'm proud to say that the Bradenton Kiwanis sponsored a wheelchair for her. So it's in the process of being ordered. And some of you that had looked into that organization to make sure they're real and everything, it is a real organization, and I wasn't aware of it before. There's many other things behind the scenes. We're really working hard. I don't know, Sharon, are we going to talk about the Family Fest today? You plan on it? Okay, we'll get you up here in a minute. But before we go on, Rita, would you come up and make the introduce our guest, please? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. So guests, when I call your name, please stand so we can give you a warm Kiwanis welcome. Our first guest is Ruth McGuire, guest of Sharon's.
Yay, Ruth!
Micah Covington, guest of Misty's. We have Connor Slutt, guest of Seth. Carlos Cruzada, guest of Rob. Joe Malichter, guest of Mike Beard. Marissa Gordon, guest of Sharon's. Joseph Palacio, guest of Kim Mills. We also have Kim Mills. Erica Slunt, one of our speakers, welcome. And we have Vanessa, also a speaker. Thank you all for attending today and welcome.
Thank you, Miss Rita. And thank you, guests, for being here. We enjoy the camaraderie. We enjoy getting to know you. And those of you that are considering joining our club, which I hope is everyone. Are we missing somebody?
I forgot to welcome all of our kids today. Thank you.
We're not going to let that go. All right. Judge Nicholas will bring you up in just a moment. I'm going to have Sharon and Chad, if you'd take the stand up here and talk about our Family Fest, because that's just around the corner. Take it away.
Is. Thank you, guys. Does everybody see the flyers on your table? Pick them up. It's got Kiwanis Family Festival. See the QR code on there? What that does is it allows you to buy a ticket to the Family Festival. It's a $20 ticket, and guess what all it includes? 40 vendors are going to be there with kids-related activities. We're going to have fireworks that's part of the night because it includes a baseball game. And who likes Star Wars? Anybody? Any Star Wars? All right. You can wear your Star Wars costumes. Then we have famous Kiwanis members that are going to be in the dunk tank. There you go. And we definitely appreciate all the Kiwanians willing to get in the dunk tank for $, right? So we have that, and we're giving away with every person that enters the baseball game with a ticket gets an opportunity to win a bicycle. I have 4 adult bikes, and I have 8 children's bikes from age 2 to 10. So we think it's going to be a wonderful family event. We're also giving away, Mike's budget, big budget for this, 2,500 tickets for special needs. Foster care kids, we came up with 430 foster kids that we're going to support. So the event is going to be amazing. But I need those of you to help us sell tickets, volunteer, and just come out and have a great time. But what I want you to do is I'm going to introduce Chad. Chad's going to help me over the next couple weeks. He was in our Key Club program. And he's going to tell you a little bit about the marketing for this event. And he's going to talk to the club for the next 3 weeks and sort of build up some more excitement so we can sell, what? More tickets and have more fun and do more service.
Awesome. Well, hello. I'm always, every time I come here, I'm never good with this mic, but hello.
You're too tall for it.
I think so. I think that's the problem, but. Well, we've been in contact with 102.5 The Bone radio channel, Fox 13, and Bay News 9, but most importantly, what is confirmed is ABC 7. We will be on the TV next week or the following, sharing everything about this event and sharing a little bit about why Kiwanis works and why the children in our community, in our nation, across the country and everywhere, across internationally, is why they are who they are because of Kiwanis. But most importantly, this event, so myself, Sharon, and also Mike Bear is going to do a 5-minute interview that will be featured on our website, on their website, on their social media platforms, and then a personal live interview on live television. So
hope we don't screw up.
So yeah, that's basically it for the event, but I'll see you all next 3 weeks to share more updates about how that goes and other things that are to come. So hopefully we see each and every one of you there on May 10th at 5 o'clock. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Sharon. There's an awful lot of work that's going into this, and it really is going to be great for the entire community and for kids, you know, all over the place. We didn't mention METV. As always, thank you very much for your support and publicity for everything that the Bradenton Kiwanis does. Judge Ed Nicholas, if you would take the stand, please, and introduce our guests for the second time.
It is my pleasure to introduce some amazing students here this afternoon. We've got Canaan Elementary, and I'm going to give them a huge shout out in a minute because this is the first year we've had a K-Kids out at Canaan Elementary. There will never, ever be another first K-Kids at Canaan Elementary, so that's so cool. And we got an amazing group from Braden River Middle School, a Builders Club. We're going to hear all about the service project that they're up to this year. But before we get to that, as you know, we had the great diaper battle going on over the last couple of weeks between Stewart and Palmasola, raising diapers and wipes for needy families in our community, going to be donated to Guardian Angels, I think. And evidently they raised over 8,000 packages of diapers, and Palmasola won by a hair. So let's give it up for Palmasola. Yeah. All right. So thanks to everybody who contributed. It was a really fun thing to do. So let's hear as President Aubrey and Vice President Madison, Go Girl Power, come to the podium. I'd like to give a warm Kiwanis welcome to the K-Kids from Canaan Elementary. As I said, this is the first ever. Amy Gore reached out to me and said my school would be a great place for kids. We got kids with big hearts and eager feat, and they've been an amazing group. Again, they're the first ever K-Kids Club out at Canaan Elementary. There will never, ever be another first. And I'd like to give a warm thank you to Amy Gore and is Ms. Knipfer? Yes. Knipfer. They're wonderful role models. They've stepped up and they've done a beautiful job out there, and now we will forever have a K-Kids out at Canaan Elementary. Fun fact, Amy Gore is related to one of our favorite members. That's her mom. Yeah, Sue Sweat. Yeah. So that's super fun. All right. So let's hear it from Aubrey and Madison. Going to tell us a little bit about what they've been up to this year out at Canaan. First ever K-Kids.
Super good. I'm going to get this mic here, Mac.
Hello, I'm Aubrey Mason, president of our K-Kids Club.
And I am Madison Horak, the vice president.
We started our year off on October 24th, 2024, with the inauguration of our first K-Kids Club at Canaan Elementary School.
Our first project was in October collecting candy and cards for our military men and women. These bags were put together and sent overseas to show our appreciation in November.
In December, our club went next door to the villages of Hollybrook, a local retirement home to sing Christmas carols and do an arts and crafts project.
For January, we made goodie bags for the homeless. These were delivered to the Salvation Army Women's Lodge in Bradenton.
Our school has an annual stream night in March, so we cleaned our campus by picking up trash and volunteered to work at the booths that night.
Just this last Friday, we made Easter baskets for the children at the Salvation Army Women's Lodge. This made a lot of children happy and was a request after a successful project in January.
We have learned a lot this year about the importance of service in our school and community, and look forward to continuing it next year. We would like to say thank you to the Kiwanis Club for helping to make all this happen.
We'd like to share some pictures with you of our year. This first one is our inauguration. Judge Nicholas came out to do the ceremony, and we had many of our parents come to watch. The picture on the left is our two advisors, Miss Gore and Miss Natalie, along with Judge Nicholas and our principal, Miss Porco.
We swore in 19 students for our first K-Kids Club at Canaan, and we were ready to get started. The service projects we did this year were voted upon by our club.
The next picture of the club preparing our goodie bags with candy and cards for our troops overseas. We sent out 80 bags.
This slide is of our club caroling at the retirement center, the villages of Hollybrook, where we sang 6 Christmas carols and even had a couple of the residents get up and dance.
These pictures are of us putting together bags for the homeless. They included socks, gloves, Band-Aids, hand sanitizer, toothbrushes, and nail clippers. These bags were very much appreciated.
Canaan is important to us, and we want to make sure it looks great, so we had a campus cleanup. We ended up with 2 trash bags full. Our school looked amazing.
Our last project of this year was last Friday. Our contact from the Salvation Army asked if we could put together Easter bags for the kids at their shelter. We made 32 bags to be given out to the kids there.
Thank you very much. Wow.
How about that? That's the first year ever at Canaan, and they completed all that community service. All right. Next up, we've got the Builders Club for Braden River Middle School. While President Sarah comes forward and her group, where's Sarah? She's president. Again, Go Girl Power. We have. I want to pay tribute to the advisors out there. We've got a longtime advisor, Ms. Beach. She's retiring next year. She's weirdly happy about it. But we've got Ms. Beach, Ms. Levanis, and new Ms. Massa, who stepped in to fill those shoes. So let's give them a warm thank you for all that they do. We've got an awesome group from Braden River Middle School. We're going to start with Sarah, our president, who's going to introduce the rest of the group.
We can, how about standing right here? Well,
Okay.
I know everybody can't see us.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sarah Vargas, the president of Builders Club at Braden River Middle School. The members are here to talk about all of the accomplishments we've made at our school. In December, a $500 donation was provided to Adopt a Family for families to have everything they need here at our school. To promote our club, a Builders Club table was also set up to explain our club to future 6th graders coming to our school. Next up is Gloriana talking about our induction ceremony.
Hi, I'm Gloriana, Vice President of Braden River Middle School's Builders Club. One thing that we did was we had an induction ceremony. We had Judge Nicholas come and welcome us all to Builders Club. We had an amazing time.
I'm Summer Stevens, and I am Sergeant at Arms in Builders Club. One thing that we did this year was common reminder cards after lockdown threats and Hurricane Milton. We provided cards to students to put in their ID cases. It tells us how, when in a situation, how to stay calm, like box breathing, repeat your times tables in your head, and think of a song that you like. I have extras if anyone wants some.
Thank you. We'll go over to this side to get the other half of the room.
Okay.
Can hear you. There a little bit. Perfect.
Hi, my name is Andromeda Parker. I am the secretary for our Builders Club. During October, we did the trunk or treat for Braden River Elementary School. We had some of our members brought candy bags to help pass out candies, and other members went to the games and helped run the games. And it was a really fun time. We got to help all the kids. And it was
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll go back over here.
Hi, I'm Shirley. I'm the custodian of the group. And one of the things that we're going to be doing this year is when the teacher appreciation day, like the first. And we're going to be giving the teachers like a token for appreciation to show how much we appreciate how much they do.
Hello, I'm Don Ray, and I'm a committee chair. And one thing we did this year was we did candygrams for Valentine's Day, and we sold regular Hershey bars for $1 each, and we sold roughly over 700, which was almost all we had. So, and we delivered them all on Valentine's Day as a treat, so all the kids like that.
Hi, I am Naomi Perez. I'm one of the committee chairs for Builders Club. And another thing we did around the holidays was help a charity called Mothers Helping Mothers. And we gave mothers who are in need and could not provide toys for their kids over the holidays, toys so their kids can have a lovely Christmas.
Wonderful, thank you. We're back over to this side.
Hi, I'm Cassandra. I'm the treasurer of Braden River Middle School's Builders Club. And we're going to be collaborating with some of the other groups for Earth Day this year. We're going to have a booth with pins. We're going to have people decorating cookies. We're going to be selling tickets. It's going to be really fun and an awesome dance after school.
Super good. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Take care of it.
Good job. So one more round of applause for our amazing Builders Club in Payton and Braden River.
Thank you very much, all of you, for being here today. All right, on with the show. Our guest speaker today is Vanessa Alcantara. I still did a terrible job of that. Alcantara, program director of the Academy at Bradenton. She's with Erica Schlunk. Both of them were founding staff members. They started off in the Sarasota facility. More recently, they've opened the Bradenton facility of the Academy at Bradenton right here downtown. The mission of the Academy at Bradenton is to create a working environment where adults can improve their mental health through friendship, healthy lifestyles, self-development, and careers. And Vanessa and Erica, please come on up and let's hear your story today. We'd like to hear everything.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mike, for that kind introduction. So as Mike stated, I'm Vanessa Alcantara with the Academy at Bradenton. I initially started at the Academy at Glengarry in Sarasota. And so we just opened our campus last April. So we're almost a year old. Our grand opening is actually April 18th, so it's right around the corner. And this here is my colleague,
I'm Erica Schlunk, a member at the Academy at Bradenton, and I've been there since the building was opened, and a little bit before, but we'll talk about that. So we're a working community where members living with a mental health illness can achieve their goals and fulfillment. And we do this through opportunities for skill development, friendship, wellness, and employment. And so the way I would describe this to a friend who's been in a lot of mental health programs is, I would say, the difference is that it's a place where you can just be a person. It's not just a treatment focus, it's not all on your mental health, it is where you can have mental health and live with that mental health instead of just focusing on that one thing, because we need that, but we also need to be able to be people. And the way that we really integrate that perspective of mental health with living life is through the 8 dimensions of wellness. So these are what we consider when we do anything at the Academy. We're usually thinking about these dimensions. I'm going to rattle them off for you and illustrate a few. Emotional, financial, social, spiritual, occupational, physical, intellectual, and environmental. So all of these things affect our lives and our wellness, and especially people with mental health. We need an extra focus on our wellness, and that helps us to develop. So these are a lot. These are a lot of dimensions. Those all get covered in various activities, from socials to gardening to financial workshops, all sorts of things. We actually had Truist come and present to us on financial wellness, so we have lots of workshops like that. I think we've got someone coming for helping people and their families with disability and applying for that, so that's great. For me, I would say my areas as a member are emotional, social, and occupational. For me, emotionally, I've been through a lot, and I need a mood boost every time for the week to fight through it. And the Academy gets me excited. It gets me coming out. It gets me having a fun time, and it's really healing for me long term because I'm able to build confidence, and I'm also able to build connection and work on my career as well. So that's the social and occupational.
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. And I'll just share a little bit about the Academy's history. So again, our original campus is the Academy at Glengarry in Sarasota, Florida. Well, we're here in Florida, but it's Sarasota County. And so we found out that a lot of our members from Manatee County were spending a lot of time driving up. And some folks, their parents would even stay in the parking lot because the commute was 45 minutes to an hour. So we really started to see a need, right? A need for our services in Manatee County because our folks deserve that. And so again, we opened our building last April. And I just want to show you all a few images of our building in downtown Bradenton. So I think some of you may be familiar with our building. It used to be a former law firm office, and so it's wonderful to see you, Judge Gilbert-Smith. And so we did expand the roof 3 feet because with mental health wellness, we need light, we need space to help folks in their recovery journey, right? And we also wanted to give folks dignity and pride in their environment and where they're working. So here are just a few of our photos of that. And then I want to jump into our programs and services. So what programs and services do we offer? We offer vocational training to our folks through 3 different teams. We have a graphic design and multimedia team, a culinary arts program, and also a business and technology program as well. We also support folks with their employment journeys, as we shared kind of occupational wellness with Erica. So some of our folks want to get back into the community, right? And they need those supports to help them stay on the job and be successful. And furthermore, we have our wellness program that Erica kind of dove into. We really encourage our members to come up with 2 to 3 wellness goals to kind of focus them on a path with the agency for them to flourish and be successful in their lives. So here's one of our teams. We have a business and tech team. I actually started off in that team at our Sarasota campus. And these are just some of the skills that we practice. We have our customer service skills, data entry, basic computer skills, Microsoft Office. So I'm sure a lot of us in the room have used PowerPoint and Word and things of that nature for those skills for folks who may be interested in clerical employment. And we do offer some basic accounting skills. So what Erica shared earlier, we do not do therapy, we do not do medication or any of that nature. Although that's extremely important for our members, we want to focus on their skills and things they can accomplish. And then Erica will share a little bit about our culinary program.
Yeah. So our next team is our culinary program, and that's a really great thing for us members, because what this team does is it creates our meals every day, healthy, cheap, accessible meals for all of us, which is so helpful. And we also get breakfast twice a week on Wednesdays and Fridays. And so that's been really helpful. So we always have access to healthy lunch. We get to learn a lot about nutrition. We get to learn a lot about cooking, whether it's food prep for ourselves at home or if we're going straight to a restaurant, we're going to be so ready because we focus on both back of house and front of house operations. So they get to work on customer service skills. They get to work on taking orders. We get to work on even the financial system. We have a point of sale system that you would see in any restaurants, so it really feels like a restaurant. Our kitchen is state of the art. It has anything a commercial kitchen would have, except a deep fryer, but considering our focus on nutrition, we can make do. Yeah. And then, oh, can I mention the Serve Safe?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then we also even have the Serve Safe certification, and so that's a really great feather in the cap for anyone who wants something extra to apply to the resume, and they also know that they're doing a quality job and can really take pride in that. And our final team is graphic design and multimedia. I live in that team. That is my home, and it's so much fun. So we do a lot of marketing materials, any kind of materials. The flyers that we have today, I think they're on the tables, and there might be some out front. Those were made and designed by members and staff working together. Every single photo was taken by a member or staff. We do our own photos. We design everything, and we also do a yearly telethon. So you're going to see all that stuff that we do. We film, and we also take the photographs. Sorry. We use industry standard software again, Adobe Creative Suite. And so that's going to be like our Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, Premiere for video editing. And we also work with industry standard technology too, really cool stuff. We work with green screens, high-tech microphones, high-tech cameras. My favorite thing to do is to put a person in front of a microphone for the first time. You just watch them light up because they realize how important it is, what they're saying in their voices, and they get access to this technology. It's really confidence building, and it gets people to be creative, to explore technology further. And so that's a really fun team for a lot of us.
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. So we shared a little bit about our history, our mission, our programs and services, and then I just wanted to cover briefly our employment services. So a big part of our program, I'd say probably 60 to 70% of our folks do want to get a job for the first time or re-enter in competitive employment. And so I'm actually one of the job coaches. We're certified through the state to help with job coaching, such as resume prep, cover letters, interview preparations, taking folks to their interviews, having those challenging conversations with management about an increase in hours or decrease in hours, and just kind of advocating for them and providing extra support that they may not have had without the academy. And then we also have a very unique program called our Transitional Employment Program. And so I kind of explained this to folks as a job on training wheels, if you will. It's temporary, it's very short, it's only 6 to 9 months, and the job is carved out specifically for our members. And so our first TE, the bottom photo there is of Joshua Posada. He is a scanning clerk at the Public Defender's Office right across the street. So we don't just partner with any employer throughout the community, we really try to find prestigious employers that's going to give our folks their confidence back and boost up their resume. And actually this week we're in the process of starting up a TE at the state attorney's office as well. So all within walking distance and accessible to our members, which is really exciting. And so here's just a quick list of a few of our employment partners. So we have our 2 TEs, the Public Defender's Office, State Attorney. Here's just a few places where other folks work. And then we have a pretty vibrant working community, so there's a longer list as well. And I think that's accessible on our website. And so who is eligible for services? Any adult 18 or older living with a mental health illness. And here's just a few of them: anxiety, depression, PTSD, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder. In the enrollment process, you have to have a referral. So as we stated earlier, we do not do the therapy, medication, and whatnot, but folks have to be connected to services in the community. And I think several of us are familiar with Centerstone, and there's quite a few others. So they have to be referred. They come in for a tour. You can complete the new member information all online through our website before you come in. We do a background check just to ensure the safety of our community for all of our members, because we want to create a thriving working community where people feel safe to do so. And then we start an orientation, which is just a 2-day process, 2 hours, to slowly integrate folks into the program. And then after that, participation is voluntary, so each member creates their own schedule. And now, Erica, you guys heard from her. She's going to be sharing a little bit of her member testimonial and how the Academy has impacted her life and her journey before and what it looks like now. So I don't want to steal her thunder. You want to take it away?
All right. Thanks, Vanessa. Okay. So I joined the Academy about 2.5 years ago in Sarasota, and I then went to Bradenton about a year or so, but before that, I was in a bit of a rough spot. In high school, I had pretty much my definition of made it. I was at the top of everything. I was hitting my groove. I had overcome a disability through support of my school, my family, and I really managed to thrive in that environment. I was giving my high school graduation speech, 4.0 GPA, participating in clubs, leadership in clubs, and I had so much fun. And then college hit me like a ton of bricks. So as people know, with these sorts of things, whether it's mental health or any kind of disability, you always will have it. Usually, you will always have some aspect of it, and you learn to cope, and you learn to function, and you learn to succeed. And then sometimes the environment changes, and then you need to learn how to do that again in the same environment. For me, what happened is I went to college, and I had to do that, and we weren't expecting it to be the way it was. We weren't expecting the challenges we had. I had a lot of failures, a lot of early failures in my adulthood. Jobs, and rejections from schools, and all sorts of challenges I wasn't prepared for, and that had me struggle with my peers in comparison. And I also wasn't fully embracing myself. I hadn't fully become an adult. I hadn't fully learned to realize and accept what my gifts were and what I achieved, and I was scared to even have the dreams that I now can admit I have. And after that, after all that suffocation, all that stress, all that competition, all that failure, a lot of life stress is happening, I had no confidence. And I couldn't even leave my room. I couldn't go to class. I couldn't do life, and I couldn't even live on my own anymore either. That had become unsafe because I wasn't able to take care of myself. My confidence was just so low, and my mood was so low. And so I left college, and I got help, but that help, while it helped, I couldn't completely get back on my feet. Every time I tried to go back, the anxiety would hit me again, and it got worse. And then we'd remove it, and things would calm down, and then there wouldn't be much going on in my life. It was a void. It was a little bit, it would trigger the depression. And so I was balancing between anxiety and turning my life on or turning my life completely off, and I was trapped and stuck in a cycle. And I went through that cycle for a few years before finally, luckily, I went to a PHP program, partial hospitalization program at Sarasota Memorial. And I met a wonderful person named Patty. She's our enrollment director in Sarasota, and a member named Paul. And they introduced to me the academy, and luckily I joined. I really was lucky I joined. I knew the first time I saw that technology that there was something special here. I was still nervous, but then everything just changed. I really was able to have a safe environment to build up that confidence, have that safe environment to realize what I had inside me, what I didn't always have the means to achieve, and I finally had support. I had support as an adult, and it could change and work with me. And one of the first things I did was the Academy art show. We have an annual art show where our members sell art they make off campus, and they get to learn how to sell their art. They get to write bios, and really, actually, if they want to pursue self as an artist, they get support for that for a little bit. And that art show is great, and it's so amazing to, in your darkest moment, have something of value, something of beauty to other people, and to realize that you still put that out in the world in your darkest moment. And I would say that's when the transformation started for me, and it just kept going. They realized I could animate, and I ended up animating a 10-minute video one spring. It was a lot, but you can see me in that bottom right corner over there. That's me behind the wheel of a car for the first time in years. That is me so excited to get to the academy that my dad driving me to the academy wasn't enough. I drove an hour every day to get that video done. I was so excited, and I can drive now. I can drive. I drove here, or I drove to Bradenton. So, thank you. Yeah, I'm grateful for that every day, and I'm also grateful for nutritionally what they've done. I had some food prep anxiety, and I can eat so much more now because everything in the academy is good. So I'm trying everything, and it's so good. I had like fish tacos and sandwiches and all those things that I couldn't eat, and so you see that I'm building a lot of skills for independence and building up a lot of confidence. And I think the final thing, and the thing that's still going on with me right now, and the most recent excitement and development, is that I've been teaching for the past month and a half a coding workshop for fellow members at the academy. So that's helping with their career goals if they want to explore that industry. And it's also helping with mine, because what I realized was I love people. I love connecting with people. I love supporting and understanding them. And in college, I didn't have that access to that part of me. And at the academy, I was able to now have the confidence to say, this is who I am. I'm someone who loves teaching. I'm someone who loves bringing out the best in people. I'm someone who loves sharing what I know and sharing what I love, and more importantly, why I love it, with people that are meaningful and amazing and so fun to be around. And I get to do that every week. And what that means, what's changed as soon as that happened 2 months ago, is every day I wake up, I have a purpose. I have something to live for, something to do. And if I'm not ready to go out and dive into I don't know, 70-hour work week or whatever I want, because I like the big stuff. I like work. But I get to do it at my pace. And no matter what happens, no matter what changes happen in my life, because again, this isn't linear, this isn't always upright. Once a member, always a member, and thanks to them, I can always be who I am. I can always be a teacher. And thank you.
Thank you, Erica, for sharing that with us. And I think that's it, folks. Thank you for your time and listening, and I hope that you all swing in for a tour. Our tours are anytime. You can just walk in. We're right downtown. We do have some flyers on the table, and then I do have some of my cards at the front desk for you. Thank you.
Stick around for just a minute. We would like to, hold on, you can't leave yet. But thank you, Erica, for sharing your story over there. I know it's from the heart, and I know the Academy's done a great job over there for establishing some confidence. And Vanessa, thank you for being here. I'd like to present on behalf of the Bradenton Kiwanis a golden ruler to measure the future success of the Academy at Bradenton.
Thank
and
you.
we've got to get a picture with this guy right here. All right?
Okay.
Thank you both again very, very much. There's a 4-H speech contest that is May 17th. We can use a few judges. Mac Aldrich has the information if you get with him. It's going to be at Kendrick Auditorium, and then they'll be here for the 27th, I believe, to give the winning speeches that we have. But that's 4-H speech contest. If you'd like to be a judge, we can definitely use a little bit of a hand for that. Canaan Elementary, Braden River Middle, thank you all for being here. We love hearing what you're doing, and I had mentioned this earlier at another meeting, but you are part of the gigantic Kiwanis organization. So from the different the middle school programs to the Key Club in high school to the actual Kiwanis, all of you are part of a much bigger organization, and we love to see how you serve others. And it's really, it warms our heart to be able to see that when you're in elementary school and when you're in middle school. So thanks again for all that. Join us next week. We will be hearing from Jackie Dzelski over there at the Manatee Chamber. We've got a lot of things coming up. It is a busy time right now, and I will adjourn the meeting, go forth and do great things this week. Thank you.